and he scores on a header about a couple minutes after he's come in. And it was right after Ernie Stewart had been broken up on a great defensive play by Dorigo.
He just won the ball there.
Stewart. Oh, Lallis's adrenaline. Forget it. Here's Stewart. Oh, right footer. Right at Woods.
He got all of it, though. There's Alexi Lallis, your goal scorer, the second goal for the United States.
He's got a lot of questions. You said something about answers. He's got a lot of questions now, maybe even more than he started. What does this do, though, to the game? It's not a 1-0 lead that the U.S. must protect. Now it's 2-0. What happens?
Well, England becomes that much more desperate. Expect them to play more direct, get the ball forward as early as possible to put immediate pressure on the U.S. defense. And for the United States, it means to be that much tougher and not letting balls bounce in their end. And Tony Meola playing as aggressively as he has up to this point to cover as much. Here's the goal for the USA. Alexi Lallis, number 22, floating through by himself, really. No one stayed with him, and he just beats Woods to the ball. And that's not easy to do. Woods has a full arm length to work with, and Lallis still gets up over him, beats him to it, and puts the ball in.
And Woods had a right cross coming that way. I mean, Lallis is looking at danger in the face on that.
It doesn't look good for the goalkeeper because he needs to get to that ball when it's up higher, when he can use that arm's length to reach it and get it before Lallis can get to it. But Lallis had left early, got up there, and just beat him to it before the ball got into Chris Woods' reach.
He's not known as a goal scorer, maybe until this year, because he's gotten 2 already, and this team has had a hard time scoring goals. They've got 2 tonight.
He's really the second defender who scored today for the United States. Dooley, playing a defensive midfield role, came forward to get the first one.
Clavijo. Too long for Wegerle.
But again, a key element there was when Lallis went cruising through the England penalty area, no one picked him up. He went up by himself. No protection there for Chris Woods.
And there were at least 3 defenders in the neighborhood.
They just watched him.
Dorigo will have a throw-in.
And that's a problem that a coach will have. He's got to be able to talk to his defenders and say they've got to attack the ball. They've got to track people coming through them.
Graham Taylor thinking about this game, maybe in the back of his mind, the British tabloids tomorrow, assuming this continues. Batty, there's still a lot of time left, almost 15 minutes. Batty, offside.
And to give you an idea of the proportions of the scoreline as we look at it, the United States still really a fledgling on the world soccer scene. England, one of the great teams, great histories. They won the World Cup in 1966. We look at Peter Bonetti, their goalkeeping coach in gray hair. He played in World Cups. And the United States now winning 2-0. No one really expected the United States to be able to beat individually any of the 3 teams that are here in this U.S. Cup.
Doyle had no other play to make, so he puts it out. Corner kick coming up. John Doyle recovering from back surgery, similar to what Joe Montana of the now Kansas City Chiefs went through the other night. I almost said 49ers. Played with them for so long. Off the corner. Deflected wide, far side, nobody home for England on that right wing as it goes out. Ince is hurting.
He wants off.
Well, this is a team that clearly, forget about effort, they need a goal.
He's their captain today. Not been terribly effective, other than taking Dooley out.
Which didn't help because his replacement scored the goal.
Yeah, there you go. Backfired on him.
Wegerle. Holding. Cross midfield. 2-0 now. USA leading it. On the right side, Ramos. His assist off that corner kick. Set up Lallis.
I like the way he set up Dorigo there. He slowed up and then immediately changed gears. Nearly slipped past him.
Off the Clavijo throw. Ramos chesting it.
Nice little touch.
Some good stuff between Wegerle and Ramos. And now to the far side, intended for Agus. Collected by England. Down 2-0. Here's a breakaway pass. Clough or Wright. It's going to be Wright. Leading for Clough and all the way across. England could have done better with that. And it's cleared out.
It looked promising for England there in that the original ball was played in behind Clavijo. but the United States defense organizing themselves very quickly, setting up and being able to defuse that one.
Dorigo, far side. Miola's there.
Solid performance, Tony Meola. Confidence in the air.
And he and Barnes collided there. That was why the whistle blew. I think they've got Barnes on that foul.
See the determination on Meola's face.
Well, you know he took a knock earlier from right, but they're going to have to carry him off. He's not leaving. Clavijo. Sending it long. England will recover. Ince. Quickly to Sharp. Clavijo stood his ground, knocked it away. Throw-in coming up for the United States. Less than 12 minutes to play.
Come on, back. Come on, guys. Come on, Lee. Head up. Come on.
Not much more Taylor can do except offer encouragement, but tonight it hasn't been there. USA has been the better side. Dixon. Sending it long. Right. Cutting. A chance for England. On the pass across. Cleared away by Clavijo. Not out of danger yet. Clavijo did a great job on Sharp, who was right in there looking for the first goal of the match for England. It remains a 2-0 lead for the United States, and we only have about 11 minutes remaining in a match at Foxborough.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery. It keeps going and going and going.
Another day begins in Europe. And as it does, American Airlines will touch down in 13 European cities in 9 different countries. So whether it's business or pleasure that brings you to Europe, fly the airline that can have you there as early as tomorrow morning. American Airlines, something special to Europe.
Back to the action. Clavijo with a pass down the right wing. He wanted Ernie Stewart, but it's too far. Ramos still down, involved in a tough collision. About 10-15 yards shy of midfield. Desmond Armstrong trying to get the referee's attention. Can't do it. Lallis looking. Ince got a piece. Now finally a whistle. Desmond Armstrong's pointing.
Well, they wanted to stop play, but Doyle so dominating in the air.
So Ramos is down on the field right now, and while his teammates and trainers tend to him, it's still a USA lead, 2-0. Soccer fans come in all ages and sizes, and I don't know if that child's enjoying the game or not. You can't tell by that reaction.
Well, that baby may be witnessing a bit of history as we speak. The United States have not beaten England since 1950, since the guys we had on at halftime were players. Kobe Jones is on for Tab Ramos, who got injured in that aerial duel a moment ago with Tony Dorigo. And Jones has the speed to help out in terms of counterattacks, in terms of pinching back in the midfield to win balls. If the United States can keep their composure when they do win the ball and not give it right back to England, they could be through here with what anyone would have to describe as a huge upset.
To give them also 2 points, their first 2 in US Cup '93. Cause a lot of problems for England's manager, Graham Taylor, if the result does stand. Lee Sharp, left wing. Kobe Jones and Clavijo are there. Clavijo knocked it away. Right back. Ince. Here's a chance of the turn right. Save Meola! A brilliant save by Tony Meola, who's made at least 3, maybe 4 world-class saves tonight.
And there's your man of the match, Tony Meola. There's no question there that it was a world-class save in terms of reaction, in terms of his range. And he's playing like a man possessed, because look at this ball here. All the way through. He's got either corner to shoot at. Meola still gets his hand down, and it's a wet ball. It's skipping, and he gets enough of his hand behind it. Tony Meola, look at this. He's looking He's looking to relieve some of the pressure. He's so pumped up to have made that save and to really keep the lid on this English team. If England gets one goal, they're totally back in it, and the U.S. then are scrambling and backpedaling.
2-1 could have changed the whole complexion of this one. As you know, sometimes a 2-0 lead can be at times the worst lead.
And Ian Wright can't buy a goal. He had a chance very early on when he had first stepped on the field, put it over the bar. This time Miola just stood right up to him and shut him down.
England looking to gain possession, but the U.S. squad would like to play a possession game of their own. England getting it. Pluff. In his face. Wright is onside. Here he comes against Miola. Save again! Tony Miola. Brilliant stuff. It's not Wright's night, but it is Miola's.
There's no other way to describe it but heroics, because 2 times in a row, Ian Wright is completely through on Tony Miola. Miola makes the right decisions and playing with a fire in his eye. We see it here. This ball played beautifully through. Wright's got all the options here. Miola cuts the angle, smothers it, and then holds it. And this guy has pushed himself to the limit, and he's been the difference in this game.
Back to the live action. England with another chance inside the 18, and it goes over Miola, who's worked very hard.
A really well-timed run here. Nigel Clough playing it through and collected well by Ian Wright on the full stride. But Miola plays it perfectly in cutting the angle and smothering it.
And no real rebound, or at least nothing that got away from him. Tony Miola, a great performance in goal tonight for the U.S.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bird. Budweiser. Proud to be your bird. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bird.
The stars will always shine, the birds will always sing. As long as there is thirst, there's always the real thing. Coca-Cola Classic is always the one. Whenever there is fun, there's always Coca-Cola. Yeah. Coca-Cola, always Coca-Cola.
England coming back, trailing 2-0. Here's Batty. Wide on the right side. Nice crowd on hand tonight here in Foxborough, despite the rain. Looking to get an official count if we can. They were expecting, if they had nice weather, maybe 35 to 40,000.
And it's been a rough couple of weeks for Graham Taylor and his England team. Losing to Norway in the World Cup qualifier, really putting themselves in the trick bag as far as qualification.
From the corner, it's deflected. Still loose inside the 18. A couple of players getting a crack at it. Corner kick, says the referee. Barnes will give it up to a teammate from that far side. Less than 3 minutes unofficially remaining. 2-0 U.S. in the air. 18 yards away. Oh, just when Batty was ready to strike, it was knocked away. And an offside call, but it was Ernie Stewart that made that good challenge.
And think about it, England will face Brazil this Sunday, so there's really no let-up for them. They needed at least a point from this game if they expect to be competitive in this U.S. Cup '93.
Time right now to announce today's Snickers World Series of Soccer Most Valuable Players, and let's take a look at them for you as the crowd begins to chant USA. For England, it is Lee Sharp, number 16, chosen as our Snickers Player of the Game. Nice effort by Lee Sharp, but not better than this man, Tony Miola. Outstanding in goal. 4 world-class saves that we remember, and probably even more than that. Congratulations to both players. Snickers will make a charitable donation of $1,000 on behalf of Tony and Lee to youth soccer in the United States. Well done by both players. Graham Taylor, the expression doesn't change. Batty, inside. This one's deflected out. Got to say one thing about Graham Taylor. So gracious at yesterday's news conference, said He expected the heat. He knew that he would be criticized. He said his team was playing badly, and as a result, you go after the players and the coach. So he didn't try to hide behind the criticism at all. It's a tough, tough job. From the corner. Headed down, but right at Tony Meola. The United States are minutes away from doubling the score of that 1950 upset, when the United States beat England 1-0. Our clock shows about a minute to go. Again, it's unofficial. Goals by Dooley and then Lallis, one in each half, and some spectacular goalkeeping by Tony Meola have been the difference. But a tremendous team effort by the United States. You could go right down the list. Everyone has made a contribution. It may sound like a cliche, but you think about the runs that Winalda made in the first half and how he and Wegerle were working. John Harkes didn't have to do as much today, but he was a more effective player within the team. And what Tab Ramos did, especially to salute the back line of the U.S. Armstrong at sweeper. Clavijo, Lapper, Doyle, Agus. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. And even the substitutions have played a role. Lallis coming on, scoring a goal. Ernie Stewart continuing Winalda's runs. Kobe Jones doing likewise. A night to remember here in Foxborough. Coming back the other way, Lee Sharp. Batty. Clough looking for it. 37,652. Got to applaud the people of New England for coming out on a night like this. Woods coming out on a night like this to clear into the stands. They're announcing it now. Great night for soccer in Foxborough. They've had some magic nights here when they had the tie with Ireland, 51,000 plus a couple of years ago. And then last year as part of US Cup 92. One of 9 outstanding venues in the United States. 1 year from now when World Cup 94 comes your way. Kobe Jones, tackled away by Dorigo. England continues to press on, although they know it's over. Foul is going to be called as Harkes hits the deck. You will see a celebration from these United States players. This is a big result. Tom Dooley, Eric Winalda, a major part of tonight's success. The wall being set up. It may be after this kick. Look at Thomas Dooley. Free kick, U.S. Harkes playing it in. Headed out by Pallister. Not yet out of play, though. And now it is. Corner kick coming up for the United States, who lead it 2-0. Bora is wondering about his watch and how different it may be from the game referees. Off the corner. That's it. The United States has defeated England 2-0. Tony Meola, our Snickers most valuable player for his side. Lee Sharp was for England's side, but Meola sharper than Sharp tonight. Graham Taylor wondering maybe about the post-game news conference that's coming his way in about 15 or so minutes. He'll go in there along with Bora Milutinovic. Great result for the U.S. in Foxborough, but we're not finished yet. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Last year in the United States, the typical farm animal was vaccinated against serious disease. Regrettably, 40% of this country's 2-year-old children and millions more all over the world were not. To help us make sure every child can get immunized, please call 1-800-4KIDS. After all, shouldn't we treat our children at least as well as animals?
Adidas is out to change soccer in America. The change begins at Foot Locker.
Want the bald facts about hair loss? It's not some dread disease. The problem is you just don't look as good. Me, I spent over $1,000 on this hairpiece so people could snicker behind my back. Minoxidil cost me $50 a month and I still couldn't see results. Hair transplants? That's thousands of dollars in surgery. And now there's even spray paint. Hey, this isn't a piece of furniture, it's my head. Finally, one of my actor friends mentioned Couvray. Hollywood's known this secret for years, he said. It's the one recommended by doctors because it can't clog your pores. So I get some Couvray and I try it. It's so natural looking, no one could possibly tell. This is me without Couvray. And here I am with Couvray. Amazing, isn't it? Couvray is a gentle cream specially formulated to darken your scalp, neutralize its shine, and thicken your remaining hair. And look, it's completely waterproof. That spray stuff rubs off and comes off in water, but not Couvray. It's so undetectable, all you see is hair. Here's my friend Gil before, here's Gil after, and here's the comparison. This is Bruce before, here's Bruce with Couvray, and here's the side-by-side. And look at this. Yes, Couvray's great for women, too. Here's Millie before and after. Couvray costs about $5 a month. You'd pay up to 8 times as much for the leading spray. And if you don't like Couvray, they'll refund every penny. You have nothing to lose except the look of thinning hair. So get Couvray. It works.
For rush delivery, call 1-800-882-8600. That's 1-800-882-8600. Or send $19.95 for your 3 to 4 month supply of Couvray, plus $4.50 shipping to Couvray, 10 Bay Street, Westport, Connecticut.
A magical night in Foxborough as the United States national team shuts out England. 2-0 is the final score. Goals by Dooley and Lallis, but a great goalkeeping performance by Tony Meola. Ty Keogh is standing by now with the man who twirled the shutout for the U.S. Ty?
We've all witnessed history, truly a historic moment. Tony Meola, incredible saves. You're the hero, heroic measures that you took late in the game.
Thanks, Ty. You know, I'd like to think that I was the hero, but I made some saves late in the game, but it was early in the game that we established ourselves as a defense, as a unit. And John Doyle, Lapper, and Desmond were really the stars of the game. In front of me, everything was solid, and that's exactly what we needed.
We could see how badly you guys wanted it. What went on at halftime? What did you guys decide to do coming out from there?
Well, we decided that we couldn't sit back. Against England, they're always going to get their chances, and if you sit back against them and give them the opportunities, they're gonna beat you. And we had to go out and get another goal, and Alexi came in and did a great job, and it's just good to be a part of it right now.
I think you set a strong example early on in commanding the penalty area, too. I mean, you've got to know that they're going to come in with high balls.
Yeah, I mean, that's England's game, and everybody said I couldn't play in the air, and they doubted me, and I've always thought that was my strong point, and it all worked tonight, you know, and if I ever had a clean sheet in a game, that was one right there.
You wanted it. Did you have something in mind like that to prove a personal point?
I sure did. You know, everyone knows I was over in England. People think I failed over there. It had a lot more to do with my ability, not being able to play over there. And, you know, people talked about maybe you'll get a contract over there. I'm worried about getting a contract here with the national team.
All right, Tony. Well, just a different level of performance, a different level of intensity by Tony Meola was the difference tonight. We thank you very much. We appreciate it. Back up to you, JP.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ty. Congratulations, Tony. We have a tie now in first place in the U.S. Cup 93. Guess who's tied with Brazil? It's the United States, each with 2 points. Germany yet to play a game, and nothing yet for England. Stick with us. Still more to come your way. We'll look at highlights when we come back to Foxborough. Stay with us. You're watching the World Series of Soccer. This is U.S. Cup 93 on Sports Channel America.
On the road again.
Introducing American Roads, a great new collection that hits you where you live.